Have you ever lied? Maybe it was just a small lie, like saying, "I'm fine," when you're actually not. Or perhaps saying, "I'm on my way," while you're still at home. Now imagine a much bigger question. When did humans first start lying? Who was the first person to deliberately hide the truth? Did lying appear only after humans developed language? Or were our ancestors already deceiving each other long before they could speak? And even more surprisingly, what if the ability to lie actually helped humans survive and build civilization? To find the answer, we need to travel far back into the past, long before cities existed, before writing, even before agriculture was invented. Around 200,000 years ago, the first modern humans lived in small groups of hunter-gatherers. They hunted together, shared food, and depended on cooperation to survive. In groups like these, trust was everything. Without trust, cooperation would collapse. But strangely, it was precisely because trust was so important that lying became possible. Because in order to lie, a person must first understand what others believe. In fact, simple forms of deception existed long before humans appeared. Many animals deceive in nature. Certain butterflies have wing patterns that resemble the eyes of large predators, frightening potential attackers. Some snake species pretend to be more dangerous than they actually are. Certain birds even fake injuries to lure predators away from their nests. All of these are forms of deception. But they are not lies in the human sense. These animals do not consciously understand the thoughts of those they are deceiving. Instead, they follow instincts shaped by evolution. As human ancestors began living in increasingly complex social groups, something extraordinary happened. The human brain evolved, particularly our ability to understand what other people are thinking. Scientists call this ability the theory of mind. It means we can recognize that other people have beliefs, knowledge, and perspectives different from our own. And this ability became the foundation of lying, because a person cannot lie unless they understand that someone else can hold information that differs from reality. No one knows exactly when the first lie was told, but many scientists believe it happened tens or even hundreds of thousands of years ago. Imagine a prehistoric hunter discovering a large honey nest. He knows that if he tells the group, the honey must be shared, but he wants to keep it for himself. When someone asks whether he found any food, he replies, "No." Perhaps that was one of the first lies in human history. Simple, yet revolutionary, because for the first time, someone intentionally created a false belief in another person's mind. At first glance, lying seems entirely negative, but from an evolutionary perspective, the reality is more complicated. Humans lie because lies can sometimes provide advantages. To avoid punishment, to gain resources, to protect themselves, or to increase their social status. Imagine a hunter exaggerating the size of the animal he caught. He may appear stronger and more capable. As a result, he might earn more respect from the group. In some situations, deception could increase a person's chances of survival and reproduction. However, there is one major problem. If everyone lied all the time, society would collapse. No one could be trusted. Cooperation would disappear. Group hunting would fail. Food sharing would become impossible. Because of this, evolution created an interesting arms race. On one side, humans became increasingly skilled at lying. On the other side, humans became increasingly skilled at detecting lies. Over thousands of generations, both abilities evolved together. When we lie, the brain works harder. We must remember the truth, invent an alternative story, and make sure that story doesn't contradict other information. As a result, many people become nervous when lying. Their heart rate increases, their voice changes, eye contact decreases, their body becomes tense. This is why humans often leave small clues when they lie. And throughout human history, the ability to notice these clues has been extremely valuable for survival. As humans developed more sophisticated language, lying evolved as well. People could now do much more than simply hide information. They could create stories, excuses, promises, and even myths. Language transformed deception into something far more powerful and complex. Yet at the same time, language also allowed humans to build trust on a much larger scale. Civilization emerged because these two forces developed side by side, trust and deception. This may sound strange, but some scientists argue that not all lies are destructive. Imagine a parent reassuring a frightened child by saying everything will be okay, or a leader inspiring hope during a crisis. Not every lie is told for selfish gain. Some forms of deception help maintain relationships and social harmony. In certain situations, the ability to control information became an important part of human social life. Today, humans live in a world vastly different from that of our ancestors, yet our brains still carry the same abilities. We still lie sometimes to protect ourselves, sometimes to spare another person's feelings, sometimes to gain an advantage. The difference is that today, a single lie can spread to millions of people in seconds through the internet and social media, something our prehistoric ancestors could never have imagined. So, when did humans first start lying? We may never know the name of the first liar, or exactly when it happened, but scientists believe that lying emerged when humans developed the ability to understand the minds of others. At that moment, our ancestors gained one of the most powerful and dangerous abilities in human evolution, the ability to shape what other people believe. Ironically, the same ability that allows humans to lie also allows us to cooperate, build trust, create cultures, and establish civilizations. Because without understanding the minds of others, there would be no lies. But there would also be no empathy, no friendship, and perhaps no society as we know it today. So the next time someone says, "I've never lied in my life," perhaps the more interesting question is that really true? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below. Do you think lying is a weakness of humanity or an important part of our evolution? See you in the next video.